Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I didn't plan on uploading a video this week, but the gods have decided otherwise. Today, I'm hopping on the Goblin Slayer train. Toot toot! For the views! For the views! For the views! For the views! Yes, I know I said I wasn't gonna watch Goblin Slayer because it's a knights and magic and swords and in a medieval times type of situation happening, but people got upset. And then I had to see what I was missing out on. So let's chat, let's talk about it, let's dish. A quick disclaimer before I start the video though, I will be talking about sensitive topics like violence and gore and rape. So if those are your triggers, click away. I'm specifically talking about the anime. I have not read the light novel. I will not read the light novel. So this is about the anime. This is about the first episode. Here we go. The anime community is in an uproar over Goblin Slayer because it has violence and gore and a rape scene. My issues with Goblin Slayer though isn't anything that anyone got super upset about. I don't mind gore or violence personally. The rape scene wasn't that explicit. I've seen a lot worse. I am not in any way justifying that as an act or downplaying it or anything like that. Rape is terrible, don't do it. I just feel like it was used as shock value, just the same way as Saw and Hostel use gore as shock value in those movies. People are upset because there hasn't really been anything as seinen themed in recent seasonal anime that like I can even remember. And the fact that it's streaming on Crunchyroll, one of the most accessible anime streaming sites out there besides like, you know, all of the bootleg illegal sites like Kiss Anime. Like, it's the most accessible. You can watch Crunchyroll basically anywhere. So you can turn this show on and watch it and it looks like cartoons, and then all of a sudden there's like a goblin rape scene. So I think that's why people are upset. There's no explicit like detailed warning before you watch the video. There's a very small warning. And there's not really a rating system on anime because it doesn't come out on normal TV. There's no like rating system for how violence or gore or not it is. You just kind of have to watch and then realize the maturity level that you need to view the show. That goes for little children anime too, because sometimes Phoebe. Because sometimes animes that look good or cute or like you want to watch them turn out to be children's shows. So if you go to watch something with your family that you think is going to be family friendly, you know, like an adventure tale, you know, like adventuring sounds like, you know, they might slay some dragons or something, or maybe some goblin, but sometimes you get violence and gore instead, and I understand why that might put people off. Not actually showing the act of what's happening makes the scene so much more gruesome because your imagination is so much wilder than anything that they could put on camera or anything that they could create, which is a trick that horror movies have been doing for a very long time, probably since the beginning of horror movies. It's so much easier to let you imagine what's happening than to actually show you what's happening. So I get why people are upset. However, none of what I just talked about put me off. Again, not trying to downplay it, but watch Mad Bull 34 and then get back to me. The thing that put me off the most was how timid the priestess is for being an adventurer. She can't even get her words out and she's going into caves to slay goblins? What? So I guess we find out that she's not as brave as we think she is. The first thing that I had an issue with in Goblin Slayer is in the beginning, during the rape scene, the girl is telling Priestess to run, get away while you can, don't worry about me. I mean, she doesn't say that explicitly, but you can tell with her eyes and her body language and like, you know, the fear. She's like, at least if you can get away, I guess that's okay. But Priestess listens to her and she starts to run away. I guess maybe she didn't know what the goblins are attracted to and not attracted to, but she had this power called like arc light or something like that, where she turns into a giant beam of light, like a big ball of light, and it flashes for like 3 seconds, and the goblins don't like that. So in that situation, instead of making the decision to stay and help, to potentially save this girl and exit the cave, she just ran away. So like in that situation, you made the decision to flee and not help your adventurer friend. Like, I can't get behind that, like, at all. If that's something that you're doing, you're adventuring, you're going to caves with these people, I get that you guys are like rookies or whatever, but the first thing that you should do is make sure your entire guild or whatever comes back with you, or at least as many people as possible. Like, that's the point of adventuring. You all got each other's backs. Whatever her little magical power is where she blasts the light, you could have used that in that situation to blast all the goblins away. Ever thought of that? No, of course you didn't, because you don't have a level head during tough situations. She barely escapes this scenario with her life. And she was saved by a very large armored man that comes in and knows everything about slaying these goblins. Like, he's been doing it for years. And he does the weird counting thing where he counts how many goblins he's slayed and, you know, whatever. Okay, cool, we get it. You know how to slay goblins. Cool. And the next thing that I have an issue with Goblin Slayer, and then they come across a playpen of little goblin children. I'm just gonna show you the clip so that you have some context. If you haven't seen Goblin Slayer, I don't know why you're watching this video, but spoilers, so I don't know why. But anyway, I'm gonna show you the clip so that we can have some context.
奴らはすぐ増える。もう少し遅ければ50匹ばかりに増えて襲ってきただろう。お前は運が良かったな。殺すんですか？当たり前だ。奴らは恨みを一生忘れん。それに巣穴の生き残りは学習し、知恵をつける。生かしておく理由など一つもない。善良なゴブリンがいたとしても。善良なゴブリン。探せばいるかもしれん。だが、人前に出てこないゴブリンだけがいいゴブリンだ。
What? You and your guild, or whatever you want to call it, just got ambushed, raped, killed, poisoned by these creatures. And you ask if there are any good goblins? Miss, what are you thinking? Why are you showing empathy for these creatures that literally just destroyed 4 other people, your friends, or your adventurer friends, or like the people that you're hanging out with right now? Make the tough decision. And that is why I had an issue with Goblin Slayer, not because it was super gory, but because this main character she's just a person that I cannot stand to watch. Like, that's cool if you're timid and you're shy and you're scared, but when the situation calls for you to make a heavy decision, make the heavy decision and do it quickly. I feel like if I was in that situation, I would have made the decision to use my little power, any power that I had to help at least. I cannot stand characters that are damsels in distress. Like, if you want to be taken seriously as an adventurer, man up. If you want to be an adventurer, you've got to make tough decisions. While she did make the decision to go with Goblin Slayer and kill the rest of the horde, the shaman, the hobgoblin, whatever, she wasn't in the right headspace to do the thing that is necessary. That is why I do not like Goblin Slayer. That is what I had a problem with the first episode of Goblin Slayer. Maybe we'll get to see some character development later on. This is just the first episode. Maybe she will become more mentally stable and not try to empathize with the enemy. I don't know. I hope she is written to become more mentally tough than she is now, than we saw in this episode. Hopefully. Let me know what you thought of the first episode of Goblin Slayer in the comments below. Let's have a chat. Let's talk it out. What did you think? Did you think it was too gory? Did you think it was too violent? Did you not think it was violent enough? Let me know in the comments below. And if the next episode of Goblin Slayer is just as controversial, you might see me next week. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel for everything anime, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye! She is the worst person to be an adventurer.